Peace and love. We are on the My Light, Your Light podcast. My name is Majestic Serenity, and this is Mr. Deonte Baker.
Hey.
He is a musician, singer, songwriter, much more. He was on American Idol, and he has just released a new project. I actually went to one of his concerts, and he did amazing.
Thank you.
So definitely go see him in concert if you haven't. Why don't you tell us more about yourself and how you got started in your career?
Well, yeah, I'm Deonte Baker. I am from the west side of Chicago. I've been singing all of my life for as long as I can remember, even before I could remember. My mother's been telling me I've been singing even before then. But yeah, I've been singing for a I don't want to say very long time because I'm not old, but I've been singing for a majority of my life. I'm 33 now, and I've been in the game ever since, I could really sing. That was maybe about 8 years old or so.
Okay.
So I've been singing since then. I got my start with my family. I come from a very big family of singers and musicians. So we sang everywhere. In the car, in the house, at the cousin's backyard party, everywhere. We sang everywhere. It became our life. It became so second nature to us that when we got around other people, we thought, oh my God, we didn't think, oh my God, like in a bad way. We were just like, wait, nobody else sings like this. Like, we kind of do this like it's nothing. But that's kind of how I got my start in the church with my family in the house. And, just started singing at a very early age. I think that kind of answers it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
How has being an entertainer shaped you and molded you into the person you are today?
I think it's still shaping and molding me. I think being an entertainer, you never stop growing, you never stop evolving. I think right now I'm in discovery mode. I'm actually in different types of modes right now. I'm kind of in several modes. Like I'm kind of reeling back creatively because I put out a project last year, and I'm still promoting that project because I put it out the very tail end of last year, last quarter. I put it out last October, and so I'm still, right now, I'm just trying to balance out, kind of finding some resting time, some time to find some more inspiration, to be more creative, be innovative, and trying to figure out, honestly, ways to push my music, really get more engagement and more visibility, more ears on it, because it's some good music. I worked hard on it, okay?
I really like your music.
Thank you. I worked hard on it, not by myself. I worked with a very small but very powerful team. And I think that's also what helped me into becoming a great entertainer, is just knowing who to work with, knowing how to work with them, and just being work withable, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Don't be difficult. Just be chill, but don't be too chill that you're not on your stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I think that answers the question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that? Well, do you feel? Well, of course you feel.
Okay.
Choosing to share your creative gifts is important.
Oh, because it's I think it's extremely important to share our creative gifts in many different ways and forms. Like, you can share it on the stage in front of an audience, but you can also share it in ways of giving back to those who may be younger than you, even those who may be older than you. I think experience is a good teacher, okay? And oftentimes, depending on when you discover your ability, I think I can speak for myself and say when I think I discovered my ability so early, and I began to pick up things so early that I begin, I feel like the quicker you pick it up, the quicker you can give it and share it with someone, because I also think that's what makes you better, that's what pushes you into that advanced caliber of whatever you want to do, singing, dancing, whatever. I think sharing it also, it is to inspire people. It is to, uh, and however you want to inspire them. Like I'm not going to judge you if you want to inspire them to do certain things, but I think it's extremely important that when you realize what you have, you want to share it with the world. Now, if you want to profit off of it monetarily, that is your motive. But if you want to do something deeper than that, I think that is your prerogative, right?
Absolutely.
So we can go way deeper into it, but I don't want to rant. So sorry.
No, you're fine. How has choosing to be a creative impacted you and always positive?
I was choosing to be a creative impacted me and always. It is.
What's been some of the greatest benefits of being a creative?
I just think the journey of it all, you have the right to, like I always tell people, nobody can take these experiences from you. Even what we're doing here right now, if you continue at it, it will become something that you really have envisioned for it to be. But if you don't, then you ain't gonna see nothing. I mean, it's just gonna all fall apart.
Right.
But if you stick with it, no matter what, you will see something come to fruition, however far you want it to go. You might only want to do this for 2 years, but what you take from that 2 years is what's really important. And I think that is what has impacted me positively, because I'm always going to look at something as what does God want me to learn from this, rather than, ooh, the devil is busy. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going to look at it like, oh, the devil got his hands in my business. Even if that might be the fact, or even if that might be so, I'm going to focus on what is positive. I'm going to focus on a positive outcome. I'm going to even look, even if I fail at this, okay, because you said American Idol. I didn't win American Idol, but I learned a great valuable lesson from the experiences that I, had. So I look at all the things that I've done, and even as I get up every day and choose to be a creative, I always find ways that will help me look at it positively. Hopefully that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What inspires you to keep going?
So many things inspire me to keep going. I think family support, lack of support. I don't know. I mean, the fact that I have the ability really does inspire me. Everybody doesn't have it, and you realize that when you go into different environments, and people are like, well, how do you do that? And I'm like, how don't you not do that? It's just, for me, I love to sing. I'm not this puffed up person. I'm not this, I'm finally walking into a persona that I'm trying to figure out as an artist, and it is okay to do that. That is why you're an artist. That's why God gave you the ability. Don't you never let nobody take that away from you. Okay? Just having the ability, knowing that God gave me life every single day. I have an opportunity to wake up. I'm not unable, like, I have the abilities to do these things. So, and I always say this, as long as I got the ability, I'm going to keep going for it. Giving up? Oh no, that's tacky. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep going. What inspires me just being around creatives who do what they want to do, and they go after their dreams, and they start from the ground up. I mean, come on, that's the best way to do it, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. How did you transition from performing for fun to making
money and getting paid?
Yes,
yeah.
You know what I mean.
I think it just happens over time. You ever heard of, like, paying your dues?
Yeah.
you gotta pay your dues. I mean, and every round goes higher and higher. So I feel like in every medium, whether you're doing it on a local level, national, international, professional, like whichever place you go, every round goes higher and higher, and it takes time. There are going to be even there are many interviews of Beyonce saying that when Destiny's Child and them first started touring, they were touring for the free. They were doing promotional gigs, which means that this gig is going to promote me as an artist, and I'm not going to get paid a dime, but it is the hope that somebody sees me and books me and gives me an opportunity, right?
Right.
So you got to be willing to pay your dues. You can't walk up in there and think that, oh, because I have this gift, I should get paid. You need to pay me right now. I want it, and I want it now. Yes, eventually. Yes, one day. But you have to have the humility to say, I'm willing to do this for free. I'm willing to prove to you that I'll show up on time, that I'll learn all the parts, that I'll take care of my voice, I won't drink or smoke before the gig, I'll make sure my outfit is cute, and I'll do my part, and I'll do it properly. That's key. That is what makes someone wants to pull out their dollars and say, you know what? It's just like if you volunteer at a concert and you're singing for free, and the next thing you know, somebody walks up to you and say, wow, how can I come to your concert? You know, that's when you say, $25. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be, willing to start from a point. So it's fun. I do it for fun. I love to do it for fun. But it's, because I've been doing it for such a long time. I started in the church. I mean, I've been getting paid for this since I've been a kid. Not because, my mother demanded it. It's because when you have a gift, your gift will make room for you, and it becomes undeniable to a point where somebody want to give you money for what you just did. And so that's happened to me since I've been a kid. So it's just naturally evolved into a career.
Okay.
Yeah.
List 3 important people you think an artist must have around them to succeed and go far in the industry.
I think you should have, another creative person around you, whether it's a musician. You need to have somebody working in the music industry, somebody who's willing to support you, root for you, but also show you how it should go. Someone older than you. I think the problem with us singers and musicians is that we often get a little puffed up, and because we are sensitive artists, we are our temperaments and all of that stuff, we tend to become proud and possessive of who we are, and we are not easily work withable. It took me a while at a point in my career when I was younger, in my 20s and in my teenage life. I was above reproach, meaning like I was not easily correctable. I became easily offensive, I became defensive. I think that's the right way to use it. And it's hard to admit it, right? Sometimes you have to be willing to admit, because that's what breaks you down and makes you work withable. And I never want to be that person. I don't want to be a person who is, you can't work with me.
Right.
I don't want to have an attitude. Now, don't get me wrong if you get my sound bad. That you need to have someone in the industry who has wisdom, who can show you around, who's not going to hate on you, but who's going to push you to greatness. I feel like you should have
Speaking to the camera.
You should have someone who, or something, or 3 important people. I feel like you need some type of spiritual advisor, someone to help you, to keep you grounded.
Like a life coach?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. If it's a life coach, if it's a minister, if it's a therapist, whatever you want to call it. Someone who helps keep you on the straight and narrow. Because what and if you get to that point in your career where there's a lot happening around you and you need to stay grounded, or you won't end up like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and all these other people who checked out of here too soon. Let's keep it straight 100, very real. You know, you want to get to that point that Beyonce is, and she's protected herself in her career where, you know, she can enjoy what she has produced. And then lastly, somebody with connections, you know. As an artist, if you want to be a successful artist, somebody with connections, somebody who can connect you to talent buyers, someone who can connect you to producers, songwriters. You need to have someone who is right smack dab in the middle of that network of people who can kind of connect you and lead you and guide you. Yeah, that's it. Yes, that is different from the first example that I gave. I think it is. So hopefully that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yes.
How did you get to a point where you found your team?
Oh, it's ever changing. You know, the bigger you want your vision to be, the bigger you want your business or your company to become, your team ever changes. You can make switches, right? There's central people, like for me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, what I'm learning in my business now that I'm developing it, ABR Productions, meaning always be ready productions, okay? You never not want to be ready, okay? But this production company that I am developing, that I've started, I'm building a team of people who I trust, where for me, I tested the waters over the years. For example, I was like, hey, you want to play for me? I will pay you. You want to be my music director? You want to be my lead background vocalist? Like, do you want to? And to a point where I'm connecting them to not only gigs that are with me, but it is with other people.
Okay.
That it is with other companies on behalf of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have to pay your dues. You have to show up on time. You have to sing well. You have to know your part. You can't be walking in there with an attitude. Everything's not going to go your way. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to put on a robe or
Are
two.
y'all hearing this, singers?
You know what I'm saying?
Are y'all hearing?
That is, feel like, where it starts, where you find your team of people, right? Where, you know, you go out and you work the industry together, and eventually you say, you know what, I want to start my own thing. That's where I am now. I'm starting my own company where I would, you know, where my team will grow. So I hope that answers your question.
Good answer.
Okay.
What is the very first song you ever sang?
That I can recall was Faith. It's a gospel song. Sang by, I believe, Vanessa Bell Armstrong. She's one of the best singers in the world. But I think that was one of the first songs that my brother taught me. Shout out to my brother, one of my older brothers, who used to bring me in his room and make me sing all the songs because he played keyboard and I sang. He could sing too. I mean, he taught me. But that was one of the first songs that he trained me on how to sing, on how to independently sing. When I say that he helped me figure out a way to mentally work through that song as a kid to where I didn't have to look back at him all the time and be reassured, right? So that was the training that I received at a very early age, and it paid off so much. So shout out to my brother, and shout out to that song too, because it's so good. Yeah.
You want to sing a little bit?
Oh. Oh, my voice. I gotta always be ready, right? That's my whole production company. So yeah, I'll sing a little bit of it. Okay. You ready?
We ready.
Okay. I have the faith that sees the invisible, expects the incredible, approves the impossible. Faith that can conquer anything.
Hey! You have an amazing voice.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you have some light wisdom that you can share with us, with younger creatives?
I just think that just always be ready. You know, develop yourself. Don't rush into the hoopla of what you see on social media because it will cause you to rush a little bit. So don't rush. Everything that we kind of talked about, like finding your team, finding some ground, some foundation, that takes time. It does not happen overnight. And I think, unfortunately, in the society we live in today, everything is so popcorny, everything is so quick, everything is so TikTok, everything is so fast, and we want it instantly. And unfortunately, you know, there's people who think that it will happen for them the way that it happens, the way we see it on social media. You know, so don't. If it does not happen that way, don't be discouraged. You know, just keep working. Write down every single thing. Please write down everything. Look at it often. Take it to people who you trust. Like really, really work hard so that you can be on that stage one day with that award, so you can tell a good story about what you did when nobody else was there and it was just two people in the room. So hopefully that helps.
Where can we find you online, on social media?
You can find me on all the most popular social media platforms, which is your Instagram at Deonte_Baker. Just look me up on TikTok. Honestly, you can literally find everything from my Instagram because I have a link tree. And you can just find me from there on YouTube. My name is very easy, Deonte, Baker, Baker. You know what's interesting, when you look on iTunes and you put in my name, that's like the only name that comes up. I don't think there's any more Deonte Bakers on iTunes. But anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can find me on there. You know, stream my album, Ready Now. It's 10 amazing tracks, produced by Jayon, Colin, me, my brother. Yeah, so thank you for this opportunity.
I have 2 more questions.
Okay.
How many projects do you release per year, or do you try to?
I try to, well, this is my first album that I put out, and over the years as I studied, you know, pop culture and how the record industry has changed and how people have rolled out their albums, I wanted to just, you know, be inspired by all of that. Well, I'll just speak for what I did last year. Because I knew that I was putting out an album last year, I wanted to really keep my music in people's face. And I think the only way to do that in this day and age, when there's always a new artist coming out, there's always somebody going viral, you have to constantly push your music. So for me, I put out a single at the top of last year. And then I pushed that single. I did an event around that song to heighten it. And then after that, I started pushing my album because I brought more visibility to myself after I put out a really good single. I was like, you know what? I got people's attention. Let me start pushing the fact that I'm making an album. So I started saying, okay, making an album mode. So I documented that I was making my album. I made it in 4 days. Last summer in California.
Wow.
It was fun, but it was a lot of work. It was like 12 hours, 12-hour sessions. Super fun, but super a lot of work. Very, very rewarding. But it was always my strategy to put out a single first, record my album, then I put out another single to bring attention to the fact that, oh, these are singles coming from his album, okay? I did not want to be an artist who just put out singles and just put out singles and not have a full body of work. I don't want to do that. I don't want to wait on if I hit it big. I'm just going to produce my own album. I put my own money behind it. And then my second single was really good, really successful. And then, hey, I had a lot of attention, and then I put out my album in October. And then that's it. I wrote out my album, And so I try to focus on one central release a year, like meaning if I'm putting out a full body of work, I'm going to make sure the singles are going to be on that body of work. I'm not going to just put out random singles and then put out a whole new body of work. And it's just two different things. I just don't think that makes sense, in my opinion. So.
Well, I guess I say because, well, I'm an artist. I'm an artist too, guys.
Yes.
So I created an EP, which is like 4 to 5 songs, if you guys don't know. And that was a story within itself. But then I also released a single separate from that. And that was just a single for this podcast, for a different project.
In the same year?
No.
Okay.
So never mind.
No, I just think I think timing is key. I think timing is key because you can also overwhelm your audience.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
You know, you want to make sure that you have some type of cohesion to what you're doing. And that's why you don't see Beyonce just putting out random singles.
Right.
Why can't we just look at her and say, that is such a great formula? Why we got to keep looking at these TikTok artists and they just put out singles and then, you know, they don't have any albums, you know? Like, if you want to try to be an artist like Beyonce who produces longevity and she worked hard to build her audience, then you might want to start working on, you know, your sound, your sound. What makes you you? What genre are you going to fit into? What audience, what demographic is mine? That is how you start figuring out creative ways and making albums and stuff. Like, you just don't want to put out a single just because, oh, this is nice, let me put it out. No, you need to have some type of cause behind it, some type of strategic behind it. For example, if you book for a big old gig, right, and you know this gig is 5 months from now, yeah?
Right.
You need to work on something. You need to work on something that people can buy right before that. And you say, okay, these people are coming to see me open up for a big artist. Let me put out a single the week before. That is how you do it. That is how, in my opinion, how artists should do something. For example, if Beyonce is going to perform a halftime show, she's going to make an announcement right after that halftime show because she's got millions of people watching her. So that's kind of sorry to go on.
No, it was great advice.
But I feel like us artists should be more strategic on how we do our releases, especially if we want to gain new people, new audience members, and kind of trick the algorithm.
Okay, so my very last question. What do you have coming out soon that we can see?
My music video for my next single, like I'm pushing my album. I have a really good album. And the next song that I'm pushing for this year is Cruel. It's such a cool song. I'm pushing that. The music video will be out February 7th. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get this production off the ground. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is the My Light, Your Light podcast. Thanks.
Thank you.